And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Tornado Talk, where we talk all things Brevard College Tornado Athletics. Glad you're able to join us. Another exciting show on tap. We'll be talking a bunch of hoops, women's and men's basketball already in full swing, and also catch up with BC cycling. Some great happenings going on the Brevard College cycling program. Well, on behalf of all of us at Brevard College Athletics, we hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday and want to catch you up around the world of Brevard College Tornado Athletics. Some awards have come out as of late. Women's soccer, 6 different Tornadoes named Academic All District, and just a tremendous honor. This is a combination of both athletics and academic success. Channing Barker, Grace Black, Haley Bryan, Haley Kenny, Kiara Porcelli, and Autumn Wright, all named Academic All-District. Second consecutive All-District honor for Barker, Black, and Wright. And on the men's side, 4 Tornadoes named Academic All-District. Congratulations to Rocco Barbone, Igor Da Silva, Daniel Morgan, and Sam O'Callahan. Also the second consecutive year for Barbone, Da Silva, and O'Callahan. So congrats to those Tornadoes named Academic All-District from the sports of men's and women's soccer. Cycling, we'll be talking cycling later in the show with some special guests. Big time success at the NC Cyclocross Grand Prix. That was held a couple weeks back in Jackson Park in Hendersonville, North Carolina. Just a tremendous weekend for the Tornadoes. And then the Tornadoes next week will head to Louisville, Kentucky for the USA Cycling Cyclocross National Championships. The collegiate portion of those national championships takes place Thursday and Friday, December 7th and 8th in Louisville. We'll talk more cycling in just a bit. Men's basketball, we'll have head coach Lee Burgess along with a couple of men's basketball student athletes on the show later as well. Back-to-back wins for BC men's basketball heading into the Thanksgiving break. A 78-65 win over Swanee, and then that was followed by an 84-70 win over Warren Wilson. Next up for the Tornadoes, who are practicing as we speak right now because they're preparing for a matchup tomorrow in Atlanta, 7 p.m. Tuesday in Atlanta. The Tornadoes visit Oglethorpe. Brevard will be back in action at home on the men's basketball side versus Bob Jones, 7 p.m. Friday at the Bosch. Hope to see you there. Women's basketball has been on a roll as well. Brevard with a 67-53 win over Meredith in the USA South Conference opener, and then an 85-69 win over Warren Wilson on the Thanksgiving break eve doubleheader. Now the Tornadoes will turn their focus to Barry, who visits Brevard tomorrow, 6 p.m. at the Bosch. Hope to see you there. That's a Tuesday, 6 p.m. start tomorrow at the Bosch. And then 48 hours later, the Tornadoes will take on NC Wesleyan Thursday in USA South Conference action, 6 o'clock start at the Bosch. And then on the road at Salem, 2 p.m. Saturday in Winston-Salem. And with that, we'd love to invite in our first guest of the evening, head women's basketball coach Donald Hudson, joining us once again. Coach Hudson, thanks for joining the program.
What's going on, Phil? Always great to be on. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, looking forward to talking some women's hoops, and would like to start with those 2 matchups we mentioned before the break, Coach. And let's start with that USA South opener in case folks weren't able to catch this one. A 67-53 win over Meredith. You got to love starting the USA South Conference schedule 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Coming off of a loss to Guilford. That game was coming off of a loss that previous week or early in the week before that game. So we wanted to go out and play well, and bounce back. And one of our goals this year is not to lose 2 in a row. If we drop one, we want to come back to practice that next day or go into that next game and get it right and fix it. And I thought we did just that against Meredith. And it's always good to get home conference games and get wins in those situations, especially early in the year. Like right now, we have no idea how this thing is going to shape out down the stretch. We just know that every conference game gives us a chance to be as high in the seeding as possible. And when it comes down to conference tournament time and those seedings kind of fall out, we would love to be in that top 4, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and play a few games here at home, hopefully. So we were able to do that against a Meredith team that's getting better. They're improving. Like last year, we split with them. I think we beat them at their place early last year, and late last year here on senior night, they came in and beat us. They graduated a really, really talented post player. So they're still trying to fill that void, and you can see how they're still trying to figure some things out offensively and defensively without her. And I think down the stretch, that team will be better. But focusing on us that game, I would like to score a little bit more than 67. I would like for us to be around 73 or 75 points per game. But 67, you're not upset with. We want to really share the ball. I think 16 assists in that game, something like that. I'm not sure. I don't have the number on the top of my head, but I think it was a double-digit assist game for us. And so that's always good. We really want to share it, get multiple people involved, and defend at a high level, Phil. We're still working on those things, still trying to figure out some stuff offensively as far as rotations and shot selection and when can I find my shots within the offense. But while we're working on those things, we want to really, really make sure we're a solid defensive team. Make sure our defensive pressure is where it needs to be. Make sure we're in the right positions defensively. We're deflecting the ball, getting steals. Those are things that we can do every night. No matter what happens on the offensive end, we can defend at a high level every night. And that's kind of the message that myself and Coach AB has done a really good job of emphasizing those things in practice. And we held that team to 53. If we can go all year keeping teams between 55 and 60 points, I think it's going to be a really good year for us. And we have the capability to do that. We have the personnel, and we'll have the scheme in place to make sure that teams struggle against us. One of our biggest things defensively is being hard to play against. Be a tough team to play against and give them one shot at it. And we haven't rebounded the ball the way I would like to. So that's a point of emphasis in practice and going into games. But one and done, one shot stops is what we call it. You know, it's hard enough to win in college basketball as it is, getting one stop. But when you start giving teams 2 and 3 shots in one possession, that's hard, Phil. Mm-hmm. That's tough. And any coach in America will tell you, you could be the best defensive team in the league or in the region or in the country. But once you start to give up multiple shots in a possession, eventually those shots are going to go down. So one thing we've really, really harped on since that Guilford game is one shot, one and done. And that's going to be tested this week. It's going to be tested tomorrow with Barry, and it's really going to be tested on Thursday with Wesley when they come here. 2 teams that can really, really offensive rebound. So the things that we've been talking about, emphasizing in practice, we're really going to have to put those things on the court this week. Big week for us. Excited to watch the girls go out and play.
No doubt, Coach. And by the way, statistically, your memory was correct. 16 assists in that matchup versus Meredith. Also, the Tornadoes with 14 steals in that game. Meredith turned it over a bunch, and Tornadoes holding Meredith to 53 to go 1-0 in conference play. And then there was this matchup versus Warren Wilson, Coach. And, you know, it was part of this men's and women's basketball doubleheader. It was the night before Thanksgiving break started. You know, most of the student body had already kind of started their Thanksgiving vacation. But, you know, this was a night of business for the Tornadoes women's basketball team and an 85-69 win over Warren Wilson. What were some of the learnings there?
Absolutely. And the 85 on the board, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It shows that we're making shots. It shows that we're moving the ball and we're shooting a decent percentage. But that's 69, Phil. If I have to stare at 69 every game of the year, I'll throw up, man. We can't do that. We can't give up 69, 70 points per game. That puts way too much pressure on your offense to have to be efficient in putting the ball in the basket. And we're a much better defensive team than that. The thing with games right before a break that I've noticed as a coach, you really got to fight complacency sometimes. Because sometimes your team can mentally check out and be thinking about what's going on this break. What time am I leaving? As soon as this game is over, my family's here. I'm getting in the shower. We're getting on the road. You know, so those are some things that you have to fight as a team. And I thought we struggle with that some. We struggle with that a little bit. And Warren Wilson has 2 players that can really get it done offensively. Number 4, Moosey Lewis, and number 1, I think her last name was Wojak. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but they made us work. They came in and made some tough shots. They shot it well. It's a team that kind of plays unconscious from the 3-point line. And when you're playing a team like that, that's just getting them up, you can get in trouble when you don't have enough ball pressure on them and they're taking what seems to be early and quick threes, but it's the way they play. It's the way they play. They don't mind taking a 1-pass 3. You know, they don't want to work deep into the clock. They want to take that first open shot. And I thought early on, we kind of, not early on, but midway through the second, we kind of struggled with that. And they went on a nice little run to close a lead that we built. I think we had ended up building maybe a 13 or 14-point lead in the second. And we had a few possessions where we had really quick shots and we had turnovers. And off of those quick shots and our turnovers, they were coming back on the other end and they were putting in threes. So that 14, 13-point lead was down to like 2 in a matter of a minute and a half, 2 minutes, Phil. Like I couldn't call a timeout quick enough. But that thing just kept snowballing. But we called a timeout, went into the halftime locker room and talked about what needed to happen. We needed to pick up our defensive intensity, pick up our defensive pressure, and we did that in the second half. And I think the lead got as big as 22 at some point, 25 maybe. And they kind of cut into it later into the game. But I saw what I needed to see in the third quarter from our team.
Yep, a 29-14 advantage for Brevard in that third quarter to put away Warren Wilson. And you mentioned it, Coach. Big week this week, Tuesday, tomorrow. Hope a bunch of the fans can make it out to the Bosch because it's a big one versus Barry in non-conference play. That's a 6 p.m. start Tuesday. And then Thursday, the Tornadoes will host NC Wesleyan in USA South Conference play. Preview a little bit more, Coach, as far as, these matchups that the Tornadoes will have to contend with this week.
Okay, and I'll start with tomorrow's game against Barry. A good friend of mine that coaches that team, Coach Thomas Johnson. He's been around for a while, and he's somebody that I kind of lean on for advice from time to time. We've developed a nice relationship over the last few years since we've made the Division III move, and we play every year. We talk before the game, after the game. We'll talk on the phone from time to time. He's been around the game so long. I would be a fool not to kind of pick his brain from time to time. And Barry is a team, Phil, that when you watch them early in the year, you see they play really hard. They're scrappy. And then you look up around the middle of the season, and that team has about 12 or 13 wins. It's because of the style they play. Like anybody that comes to the game tomorrow, you're going to see a lot of ball screen on the wing, a ton of it, almost every play. It's going to seem like they're doing the same thing every time down. And what that is, that's their system. It kind of keeps their turnovers down. It's a lot of 1 or 2 passes into somebody trying to make a play off of a ball screen for themselves. So our ball screen defense and our individual defense is going to be really tested tomorrow. They're going to screen our guards, and our posts are going to have to do a good job of either hedging or switching or whatever call we're in, making sure that that ball doesn't get downhill immediately. Because if they're able to come off screens, and I call it getting a piece of the paint, if they get into the corner of that paint or into the middle, just below the free throw line, we're going to be in trouble. That opens up a lot. That opens up dump downs, kickouts, floaters, and everything. So we got to keep the ball out of the middle of the floor and make them beat us over length and with the contested shots. If we're giving up wide open catch and shoot threes tomorrow, or they're beating us on the offensive glass, it's going to be a long night for us. This team shoots the ball well, and they share it well. They'll make the right passes when the time is right. So we're going to be tested, and that's why we like to play these non-conference games early to give us a look at what we need to work on and really play against some tough competition. Much respect for that program. They battle every year, and I think they're going to be right there at some point this year down the stretch in their conference. It's a team that's going to have to be dealt with in that conference. They defend well. They really pack that thing in. So if we're not careful with our dribble penetration tomorrow, you're going to see a lot of charges. You're going to see us running them over. It's going to look like football in there at times, Phil, if we're not careful with our dribble penetration. But we've talked about how we want to attack them offensively and defensively, and I think the girls are ready. Moving on to Thursday's match, this is a game where I think the biggest thing is going to be defensive rebounding. It's a Wesleyan team that really, really pounds the offensive glass. I don't know if you all remember us playing them late here last semester. I think the league got up to about 18-20, and we cut into the fourth quarter, and it was a 10-point spread. They ended up beating us by. But Phil, I've never felt so helpless just watching them assault us on the offensive glass, and that's something I never want to see again for my team. It made us look soft, honestly. And that's something that we've talked about going into this matchup and going into this year. It's not just that team we have to box out. We got to box out every team we play. But a really huge point of emphasis is going to be making this team beat us doing something they don't do well. And what they really do well is get second shots for themselves. So we're going to have to defend at a high level and get those one-shot stops that I just talked about. And hopefully we can come out of that thing with a win. But a really huge week for the Lady Tornadoes this week, and I'm ready to watch them play. I think we're dialed in. We've had a couple of good days of practice since we've been back from break. We've watched our film. They have their scouting reports. They know what to expect on both ends of the floor. Now it's time to go execute.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Coach. Hopefully we can get a huge crowd out there for both these matchups. Tuesday, that's tomorrow, 6 p.m. versus Barry College, and then the big matchup versus NC Wesleyan. NC Wesleyan, number 1 in that preseason women's basketball poll. Brevard number 2. So
heavyweight
matchup.
For a reason. It's a good team. Much respect. And they're not going to give it to us. We're going to have to take it.
Yeah, looking forward to that matchup and looking forward to the action all week long. Coach, can you stick with us just a minute or two longer? We're going to invite in a couple of your student athletes into the program now. And looking forward to these two joining the program. Shania Hauser in that bottom right location. And also Makayla Street has entered the conversation as well. Coach Hudson, could you help introduce these two to NATO Nation?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start with Shania. She's a forward for us from South Iredale over in Statesville, and a really, really defensive presence for us. A really good voice that we need on that defensive end. Physical player, runs us over in practice from time to time, but I love it. I love what she brings. I love what she does for the team. I'm excited to see what she'll do going forward. And Makayla Street is a guard/forward from Rock Hill, South Carolina, and can really, really change the dynamic of a game in a heartbeat. Like her speed and the things she can do with the ball, off the ball, really impacts this team. Really good athlete, good rebounder. Looking forward to the rest of her career as well. Two ladies that really, really embody Brevard College women's basketball. They represent us well. I'm really glad that both of them chose to come here, and I look forward to watching them grow over the next few years. And I appreciate both of them for being a part of what we have.
We appreciate you as well, Coach Hudson. Thanks for your leadership, and thanks for making some time for us on this big week of Brevard College women's basketball. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow at the Bosch. Thanks, Coach.
Yes, absolutely. Have a good night, ladies.
All right, there he goes. And as Coach Hudson helped us introduce these two, Shania Hauser in that upper right location. How are you, Shania?
I'm good, Phil. How are you?
Doing great. And also joined by Makayla Street. Hello, Makayla. How are you? Having a little bit of trouble with Makayla's connection, so we might have to work on that for you, Makayla. But Shania, let's start with you. It's been a busy start to the season already, and if we can reflect back, to a couple big wins, one in that first USA South Conference opener versus Meredith, 67-53, and then that win over Warren Wilson. When the team is clicking, when they're winning, what's the key, Shania? What is it that you guys are doing right on those days that you're able to get the victory?
We're really sharing the ball and having fun. I think it's easier when we have fun and do that.
Yeah, no doubt. Sharing the ball. Coach talked about the assist total, and Makayla Street joining us as well. Makayla, great to have you with us. And what do you think is the key, Makayla, to these victories that you guys have been racking up as of late?
I think once we have good leadership on the team, we have better leaders. I'm sorry, can y'all hear me okay?
Yep. We got you, Makayla.
On the team, we have a leader and it's leading everybody up. So we have the energy, we're sharing, we do get on the court and we play defense, we do offense, we have great energy, which causes us playing defense or offense.
Yeah, the energy, Makayla, speaking of that, no doubt. And we're going to work on Makayla's connection there, Shania. Hang with us here. And, a big week coming up here. Barry and NC Wesleyan. It starts with a Tuesday matchup, Shania versus Barry College. You all just got off the practice floor today. What's the key, Shania, to success this week? What has Coach been telling you all as far as what you have to emphasize this week and make sure you get those W's this week versus Barry and NC Wesleyan?
So we really prep for Barry. We like to take it one game at a time instead of looking ahead. So with Barry, we really want to be good in the ball screen, whether it's a switch or a drop off, and then kicking the ball out because they have ball strong side. So just really defensively and offensively kicking the ball and sharing it.
Outstanding. Makayla, much better connection. Glad we got you all sorted out there. Glad to have you on the program. Thanks for joining us. A big week ahead. We're just talking to Coach Makayla versus Barry and NC Wesleyan. What do you feel is the key this week to get in a couple W's against these tough opponents?
I think our main key will have to be rebounding, boxing out and rebounding. That's the most important thing to me. And I know everybody on the team really wants to get these W's for the whole week. So if we want to win, we have to box out, we have to rebound, we have to move at our pace. Sometimes we get sped up, sometimes we get slowed down. We have to just continue to move at our at our pace, so we can continue to keep going up and down the court, especially on defensive possessions. We do speed people up, but when we go to offense, we can't get sped up by others' defense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And, opportunity to play these games in front of the home crowd. And, it was a little unusual that last home game, Warren Wilson, it was right before Thanksgiving. A lot of the students had left and that kind of thing. But we're expecting big crowds on Tuesday and Thursday. Shania, how big of a factor is that for you all as players when there's a big crowd and there's a lot of noise in the gym? Does it help you perform?
I think it does. I think they help us with our energy. Like if we're down, they also pick us up, and just cheering for us really helps.
Yeah, Makayla, what are your feelings? Does that make a difference? It's tough for us to tell what you all are going through down there. But it seems like the energy in the crowd translates often to the energy on the court.
Yeah, when we have a bigger crowd, it translates a lot of energy to the court because we have the home advantage. We have people on our home side, and they're just yelling basically at the other team, and they're cheering us on. So it does give us bigger and better, and it gives some of us a lot more energy to perform on the court too.
Yeah, but it makes a lot of sense. So folks, get on out there, help these women's basketball student athletes on their way to victory. Tuesday, that's tomorrow, versus Barry, 6 p.m. at the Bosch. Then Thursday, another big opportunity. You get to see NC Wesleyan take on Brevard, 6 p.m. at the Bosch. So two big opportunities this week. Well, Shania, tell us a little bit more about your basketball journey. When did you start playing? When did it become serious and that kind of thing? And ultimately, you found your way to Brevard College. Tell us, what your path has been like as a basketball player.
I started in later elementary school. It kind of got serious around high school, I guess I would say. And coach had reached out to me over Christmas break or around Christmas break my senior year, and I came to visit. And he said something that stuck with me. I was like, I feel like he can really develop me not only as a player, but as a person too. And I feel like that's very important. I feel like, yeah, it's hard to coach basketball, but can you develop me for the real world too? And that's why I chose here.
Well said. Appreciate that answer, Shania. Makayla, same opportunity for you. Tell us about your basketball journey and ultimately how it led to Brevard College.
I didn't really start playing basketball until my freshman year of high school. So I did start later than mostly everybody on the team when starting to play. But as moving up throughout high school, it kind of built my character. And then moving up to Brevard, I got interest from Coach AB throughout AAU. So when coming to visit, it felt cool, it felt calming, and it felt like a family being up here with the watching the basketball girls practice. And then I saw their first game. I think they were playing a team in red, I know that, and I just liked the energy that they brought to the court. It reminded me of basically my high school team.
Yeah, dude, awesome stuff. I love how sort of these stories end up here at Brevard College, and Makayla out of Rock Hill.
Psychology and criminal justice with a minor of coaching, and not much outside of it. I have started journeying for therapy or being a therapist.
Very good. Well, certainly a couple outstanding programs here at Brevard College. Well, do want to give you each the opportunity, just like we do every guest here. You guys know the drill, this part of it, right? And I want you to take as long as you need. You can go on and on and on if you like, as far as, thank yous and shout outs and that kind of thing. But you both have the opportunity for thank yous, shout outs, anyone you just want to say what's up to. Shania Hauser, you're up first.
My family, my friends, teammates, coaches, and hey, girl, mom. Straight, you can go.
Also, my teammates, also my friends, and cheers to my family and high school coaches that got me to this point. Also, coaches here too.
Very good. Shania Hauser, Makayla Street, two members of the Brevard College women's basketball team. You can see these two along with the entire Tornadoes squad in action tomorrow, Tuesday at the Bosch versus Barry, 6 p.m. start, and then Thursday, 6 p.m. versus NC Wesleyan at the Bosch. Ladies, thanks for joining the program. Really appreciate you joining us here on Tornado Talk this evening. We can't wait to see you in action at the Bosch. We'll see you soon. Go Tornadoes. All right, there they go. And we're going to switch gears here. We're going to talk some cycling because some big news went down since we caught up with the cycling program last. And moreover, we're approaching another cycling national championships, and joined now by a couple of special guests from the cycling team. Kiara Lylyk joining us in that upper right corner. Kiara, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. And Caleb McCaskill has joined us as well, the senior from Goochland, Virginia. How are you, Caleb?
Doing good.
Very good. Well, we're going to get into a lot of cyclocross because that's the season we're in now, and we're approaching that cyclocross national championship. But before that, and one of the reasons we wanted to have Kiara on the show is some big time news went down about a month ago as Kiara Lylyk of Brevard College, representing her home nation of Canada, captured gold at the Pan Am Games last month, all the way in Santiago, Chile. She was part of the women's team pursuit team for Team Canada, and Team Canada absolutely got it done with Kiara a part of that team. They win the gold medal in the Pan Am Games. The team of four finishes with a time of 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Defeating second place Mexico by 7 seconds. Colombia finished third and won the bronze. And Kiara Lylyk is a Pan Am gold medalist. And there she is with the gold medal back here on the campus of Brevard College. And, we're just thrilled to be able to celebrate this with you, Kiara. And, now that you're back and kind of settled and, back at college and so forth, have you been able to reflect on it a little more? And, would love for you to tell our audience kind of, the whole journey that one, got you in this position to go to Santiago, Chile, but also, to end up winning the gold. Congratulations, first of all, but, please tell us how this all went down.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been so great to be back into a routine, and seeing all my friends and all the cyclists again. But yeah, it was kind of a roller coaster to get to Chile. I wasn't selected initially. I was actually like an alternate. But I took the opportunity to go, because it's not every day you get to go to Chile, you get to go to the Pan Am Games. And then I wasn't supposed to race there either. I was just the alternate. And I would step in case anything happened. But then my teammate got sick the morning of the race. So I was called into the line, and I hadn't really practiced with them. But it worked out, and we executed it well, and we won. So that was pretty amazing, and I was pretty proud to stand up there with them.
Yeah, you made quick time after the Collegiate Mountain Bike National Championships here in Western North Carolina. And next thing you know, you're winning the gold in Santiago, Chile at the Pan Am Games for Canada. For our audience who's not familiar with the team pursuit, Kiara, can you explain what that event's all about?
Yeah, for sure. So it's basically 4 kilometers, so a couple of miles on a velodrome, which is if you think of a running track, but with really slanted walls. And we ride a bike that has 1 gear, so you're always pedaling. And the team pursuit is there's 4 of us, and we basically try and ride that 4 kilometers as fast as we can with different distributions. Yeah. It's pretty controlled. We try to be very aero, and yeah, it's a cool event, but very, very short and intense.
All right, last one on this subject before we move on to what's been happening on the cyclocross and mountain bike side of things, Kiara. Can you describe the feeling when they put that gold medal around your neck, and whatever words come to mind, whether it be surreal or just proud. Can you sum it up into words, what that felt like?
I think it was just like happy. I don't know, like to be standing there and for them to be playing our national anthem. Yeah, it's kind of a different feeling than you'd think it would be to stand up there, but yeah, I was just very happy and proud to be there.
Outstanding. Also joined by Caleb McCaskill. Great to have you along with us as well. Senior year here at Brevard College, Caleb. Can you sum up what this experience has been like, being a student athlete and a member of the cycling team here at Brevard College? And now here you are, senior year. How does it feel, Caleb?
Yeah, oh gosh. It's been such a trip. I mean, coming here as a freshman, I was a totally different person. And just through all the friends and connections I've made through the team, I've changed and really have developed as a person, and have been fortunate enough to be surrounded by such amazing people, such amazing athletes, and really got to focus on riding.
Yeah, and in the focus this, in recent weeks, Caleb, has been cyclocross, and you've been in action. We saw the result there. A second place finish at Warren Wilson. You were in the middle of things at the NC Grand Prix a couple weeks back at Jackson Park in Hendersonville. Tell us a little bit about your season thus far, this cyclocross season, and also how you feel like the Tornadoes as a team have been doing.
Yeah, so the cyclocross season has been, I think, going very well. It's not a super long calendar. We've only done, I think, 3 or 4 races so far. But it's been really good, super fun to be out there with the team, racing more. We all love racing. That's why we do it. And yeah, I guess it's been such a trip going from racing at Collegiate B and taking a step up to Collegiate A and racing the A's last weekend in Hendersonville. That was a super fun time. Totally different field.
Yeah, and Caleb, by racing in that Collegiate A event, in turn, you're heading along with the team to the USA Cycling Cyclocross National Championships, correct?
Yeah, I'm super excited to be able to go to the national championships. This will be my first national championships that I've been able to go on. So I'm super excited to experience that with the team and hopefully take home some good results.
Yeah, looking for some more hardware for the Tornadoes, no doubt. There's the dates if you want to mark your calendar. Thursday and Friday, December 7th and 8th. That's when the collegiate portion of the cyclocross national championships is a little different than the collegiate mountain bike national championships, because this is the national championships for the entire sport. You've got divisions, age groups, all these different things for a whole week of activity. Kiara, tell us a little bit about your plans. Are you on board for these national championships on the cyclocross side as well?
Yeah, I am going. I haven't been able to race any cross yet this year, so I'm kind of stepping in and hoping for the best. I'll try my best. I've been sick for the past little while, so I've just gotten back into training, but hopefully I can pull something together, and I'm sure the team is going to do amazing. A lot of them have been racing for the past couple of weeks and have been doing great, and some of our teammates were in Canada this past weekend for the national championships there. So I think everyone's going to try their best, and I'll try my best even though I haven't raced yet.
Outstanding. And this will be another, national championship environment for you. You got to experience the mountain bike collegiate national championships. We saw that big result for you, 3rd place in the individual omnium. The Tornadoes, just a sensational weekend all the way around. Can you reflect back on that? Just before you headed down to Santiago, Chile, you had those days of the collegiate mountain bike national championships. Can you describe what that feeling was like? And maybe how does collegiate racing differ from some of these individual pursuits you might be getting into as well?
Yeah, like the team environment at a collegiate race is something I've never experienced before. Like everyone's doing their own thing, but everyone's doing the same thing, if that makes sense. So the people that are focusing on downhill, the people that are focusing on XC. It's just so cool to all come together, cheer each other on, and we're happy when everyone does well, and we're supporting when something doesn't go well. So it's a great environment, and it's different a lot. It's like somewhat different from outside, but kind of the same. On the track, it's also team sport. It's just it's hard to say how it's different. But in the end, it's just biking, I guess. It's just a bit of a different environment, I'd say.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed in the Brevard College team as much as any other team out there, if not more, is the camaraderie. The cheering on of each other. Sort of this. It's a team sport at that point. You're racing individually, but it's a team sport, and just seeing some of the emotion of the team. After those downhill runs and some of the other moments throughout the weekend, it was just incredible. Caleb, it was a great experience being able to have the mountain bike national championships in our backyard. It was announced they're going to have it back at Ride Rock Creek next year, which is really exciting. Just an awesome opportunity for the BC team to be able to race down the street at Ride Rock Creek, correct?
Yeah, it's super cool that the Nationals has been local previously. Actually, at all my previous years here, they've been in Winter Park, Colorado. So it was definitely a bit of a mission to get the team out to Colorado, of course. And it was nice being able to. I didn't go to mountain bike nationals this year as a rider, but I was able to go there and spectate and cheer on all my friends and really push them.
Yeah, no doubt, and that was clear. That the entire team was there. Not just the ones racing, but the entire roster was there, and also, it was the opportunity for members of the Brevard College community, whether you're students or faculty or staff, to head on over and check it out as well, which was great. Also, well, Caleb, tell us a little bit about your journey. When'd you get into bikes and bike racing and all that, and ultimately, how'd you find Brevard College?
Oh gosh. So I originally started riding like way back when I was, barely able to walk. My dad was a big cyclist when I was growing up. So he kind of just sucked me into it, and I got into racing for NICA, the National Interscholastic Mountain Biking race series that was local to me. And I made a lot of good connections, and one of my buddies ended up coming to school here, and he introduced me to Bradford, and yeah, I just got the ball rolling from there, and really, I'm really glad I made a decision to come here. It's been life-changing.
Outstanding. And Kiara, Lylyk, tell us a little bit about your journey, Kiara, out of Ontario, Canada. Tell us when you first started, racing a bike and how it evolved into what it is today.
Yeah, my mom would take my brother and I to local mountain bike races, and we were just both so competitive. I was pretty bad at it, but I wanted to get better. So we would just race every weekend, and yeah. And then to get to Brevard, like I saw a bunch of my friends were starting to come here, and I knew if I wanted to continue in school, I would have to go somewhere where I could ride my bike. And the team, like Brad seemed awesome, the team seemed awesome, so I just knew it would be a great place, and it's been a great fit so far.
I asked you this at the press conference, Kiara, but would like our audience here to hear you as far as how you approach this and the idea that there's so many Canadians on the Brevard College Tornadoes cycling team, and it's a bit of a legacy and a bit of a pipeline and so forth. Would love your reflections on that, as far as this idea of, Canada getting together down here in Brevard, North Carolina, and creating this culture for the Brevard College cycling team. What does that mean for you?
I mean, it means a lot, like to be able to come here, but also have a piece of home because of everyone I kind of grew up racing with. Like Nicole Bradbury, me and her have been racing since we were like 14 or 15 years old. And we grew up racing together, and then to come here and continue racing together, that's pretty comforting. And we're still able to push each other and try and get better outside of school racing. And then, yeah, just having all the other Canadians here, it's great. We all love biking, and we love to mix in with the culture of the Americans. It's kind of funny at times. But yeah, we love it here.
Yeah, it's just wonderful how it's become such a good fit. No doubt about that. Kiara, Lylyk, Caleb, McCaskill. Just a couple more before we let you go. I know y'all are preparing for the cyclocross national championships just around the corner. Caleb, let us know what you're up to academically. You'll be graduating soon, a senior. What's the degree going to be in, and do you have plans beyond that?
Yeah, so I am a environmental studies major here at Brevard, with a science concentration, and then I have a wilderness leadership and experiential education minor that I'm hoping to graduate with. And I don't really know what I'll do with the Willy part of the degree, but I definitely want to go into something like maybe looking at some grad schools, maybe looking to go more into the hydrology field, do some stream restoration, something like that. Really make a impact with some of the work that I want to do.
Very good. Could you tell our audience a little more about those majors here at Brevard? Maybe a couple of the experiences that have been most rewarding to you, Caleb?
Yeah, so the environmental studies degree is all about learning, like, how the environment works, and then minimizing our impact on the environment. So jobs in that will be more applying that knowledge and creating more sustainable solutions to current day problems that we have. So, for example, my senior project that I just presented on, I did a sustainability assessment on a local mountain bike trail here, and was able to, assess it and say, like, hey, look, like the way we built this was done in a good fashion to allow for as much traffic as we have in the area, but it will like hold up to that and be a durable surface.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Some valuable work, no doubt, Caleb. Best of luck in all your future endeavors, and congrats on the graduation soon to come. Kiara, let us know what you're up to academically as well.
Yeah, I just switched my major, actually. I was in biology, but now I'm in exercise science. And I'm deciding on some minors. I might minor in math and psychology. Yeah, that's what I'm up to.
Outstanding. Well, appreciate you both joining us here. Well, it's a little bit of a tradition here because both of you are first timers here on Tornado Talk. So I want to clue you in on this, but it's a tradition for every student athlete who appears that you have the opportunity for any shout outs or thank yous you may want to pass along to anyone who's helped you along the way or might be tuning in and that kind of thing. Kiara, the opportunity is yours. Shout outs.
Just thanks to my mom and dad, my dog, Jake, and my brother, Dayton, and then Coach Brad.
Very good. Well said. Caleb, senior year, the floor is yours. Take as long as you want. Shout outs.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I mean, so many people have been so influential on me through my time here. And I would really like to thank Brad for being such an awesome coach and being more of a friend than even a coach. And I'd also like to thank our new assistant coach, Coach Randy, this year. Great to have him around still. I'd also like to thank my parents as well.
Well said and well done this evening, each of you, Kiara, Lylyk, and Caleb McCaskill of the Brevard College cycling program. Looking forward to seeing you all in action at the Cyclocross National Championships. Best of luck in Louisville, Kentucky. And thanks for joining the program this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, there they go. And we're going to switch gears one final time. And just a couple hours earlier today, because the men's basketball team is currently practicing, preparing for that Oglethorpe matchup tomorrow. We were able to catch up with head coach Lee Burgess, along with Jadon Carnes and also Charlie Hester, and we were able to catch up with the Brevard College men's basketball team. So that conversation is coming up as we speak. And glad to be joined once again by head men's basketball coach Lee Burgess. Coach Burgess, thanks for joining the program.
Always fun to be here. Thanks for having me again, Phil.
Yeah, interesting time of year as well, Coach, for the BC men's basketball team. Come off back-to-back wins before the Thanksgiving holiday, and then we head into the Thanksgiving break. Catch us up a little bit as far as, what the past week has looked like for the Tornadoes. Obviously, guys getting some time off for the break.
Yeah, so, we had our game against Warren Wilson on last week, Tuesday. Then guys were able to get out either that night or Wednesday morning. So we took off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from all basketball stuff. And then guys came back in Saturday morning. We had practice Saturday morning and then yesterday, and we'll practice again today, getting ready for Oglethorpe tomorrow.
Yeah, trip to Atlanta for Oglethorpe tomorrow, but would love to review those past two wins, those back-to-back wins, Coach. The first one came on the second day of a trip to Alabama, an invitational down there, a 78-65 win over Sewanee. For those who weren't able to catch that one on the stream or in person, Coach, can you catch us up a little bit on that Sewanee victory?
Yeah, definitely. So Sewanee, first of all, really good team. Has really had our number the last couple of years. I played them 3 times over the last couple of years. They had beaten us all 3 times. A team that made the national tournament last year, a very solid program. So a team that we were very familiar with, and we were coming off of a loss to Birmingham Southern the night before. And so really challenged our guys, had some meetings with some guys individually just to try to get to the heart of some of the issues. And I felt like we came out with a really focused effort. Sewanee runs it's a system-oriented attack offensively, a lot of moving parts, a lot of reads that they're making. And in the past, we've had some times where we've guarded them fairly well, but have had some coverage breakdowns from time to time. And I felt like in our game against them, this one that we're talking about now, we really locked in defensively on making sure that we were guarding things the right way. I don't recall any kind of coverage breakdowns. I thought our guys communicated well and stayed locked in, for a full 40 minutes to get that win. As we were able to get a series of stops, we're able to get some easy buckets and transition the other way, and that lead just grew. It was a fun game to be a part of. It was a game, I want to say Sewanee was up by as many as 10 in the first half, but then we're up, I think, 14 or 15 at halftime. So you're talking about a 24, 25-point swing, in about 10, 12 minutes of basketball in the first half. So that was great for us, great for our program to get that win and springboard us into what we have the rest of the season.
We'll have a couple of the stars of that Sewanee victory on the show later in the program. Jadon Carnes had 13 points and 4 assists in that one, and Charlie Hester, 12 points, going 4 for 4 from the field, and the line as well was perfect also. So a win versus Sewanee on a neutral floor in Alabama. Then you head back to the Bosch, a men's and women's doubleheader on the eve of Thanksgiving break, and the Tornadoes take care of business 84-70.
Yeah, any win's a good win, and we talk about wanting to protect home court, and we were not able to get that done against Montreat. So in our second outing here against Warren Wilson, we were able to protect our home court and win a game at home, which was something we were definitely cognizant about doing. Felt like our guys guarded well again. We had a few lapses defensively that we showed on film here after the game, and that we need to tighten up and be better at. But all in all, I felt like it was a solid performance from our guys. Warren Wilson is a team that I think has steadily gotten better as the year has gone on, and they played hard against us, did some things that bothered us, but our guys stuck with it. We had a large lead. It dwindled down. I want to say maybe they got as close as maybe 6 or 7, maybe 6 in the second half, and didn't feel like our guys panicked. Knew that a lot of it was self-inflicted, that we needed to just tighten up on our end. We were able to spread the margin back out a little bit and get some breathing room and come away with a good double-digit victory at home.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Coach. A really strong first half, a 41-27 lead at the half. Jadon Carnes, 18 points to lead the Tornadoes. Also, Quincy Carter had 16 points to go along with 5 rebounds and 3 steals. And that leads us to where we're at in the present moment, Coach, and preparing for a trip to Atlanta to take on Oglethorpe. That's tomorrow, 7 p.m. if you're in the Atlanta area. Would love to see some blue and white and black to check it out and support the Tornadoes. But a big matchup on the road, right back at it here, Coach.
It is. Oglethorpe is a quality opponent. We've played them pretty consistently over the last few years, and they had our number early on, and we were able to get them twice last year. So I'm sure that they're going to come in with a very fully focused mindset, getting a win on their home court. We will certainly work hard to match that intensity and that focus and try to play the game the way we want to play it. But they're a little bit different from where they were last year. They have a post player that has transferred in there that is really, really good, putting up a lot of points, some big numbers, rebounding the ball as well. He is a difficult guy to defend. He scores it well around the basket. He's athletic. He's strong. He's physical. Seeks out that contact and is really relentless once he gets into the paint. So we're certainly going to have to work hard to neutralize him and not let him have a big time game. So they've got a post presence that they haven't really had there in the past. So it's a little bit of different type of game. They're still going to play very similarly defensively, what they usually do, and they're going to switch it up, man and zone. But their offensive attack is a little more post-oriented than what it has been in the past.
And following that, a couple of days off back here at Brevard College as students back at classes and so forth. And then matchup on Friday, returning to the Bosch, 7 p.m. versus Bob Jones. It's the Toys for Tots game. Be sure to bring a toy and donate to that great cause as well. But, Coach, it'll be great to be back in front of the home court, the home crowd and so forth. And, the student section will be back in full force as well.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that. It was pretty quiet on Tuesday with on the student side, and understandably so. Everybody going home for Thanksgiving for that Warren Wilson game, but appreciate those that did show up, especially our girls basketball team hanging around after their game to support. But yeah, that game against Bob Jones, we'd love to get a lot of students out there supporting and yelling. This gym can get loud when we've got some people in there making some noise. So hopefully that's the case against Bob Jones.
Well, Coach, it's been a couple weeks since we caught up last. 5 games into the regular season, 7 games if you include the 2 exhibitions against NCAA D1 foes. Now that we're at this juncture of the season, catch us up a little bit as far as how the team is sort of rolling into shape. What makes this team unique and so forth.
What really makes this team unique is the number of players we have that could potentially lead us in scoring on any given night. I mean, I think we've got, 6-7 guys that really have a legitimate shot to lead us in scoring in any particular game. So we definitely have a strength in numbers approach right now. We're a little bit hurt. We're a little bit sick. And we still have, in my mind, plenty of people at our disposal to be able to go in and compete at a high level. I think that we've had to have a little bit of a look in the mirror in terms of our attention to detail early in the season. We lost our first 3 games at the gate. We were playing good teams, but lost our first 3 games and really needed to, in my mind, really center our focus on what's important in the game and what's secondary. And anything that's secondary doesn't really deserve any kind of attention from us while we're trying to win a game. It's hard enough to win a game. There's enough things that we've got to pay attention to, that anything that's not absolutely essential to winning, we don't need to waste energy on. And so I think we've done a better job at that as we've gotten here over these last couple of games. Hopefully we continue with that against Oglethorpe. But I like the team. I like the group. They're a fun group to coach. Guys, for the most part, have done a really, really good job of recognizing that yes, if I'm looking at myself as a player, I'm talented. I've got a lot of ability, but there's a lot of guys in this locker room that have that as well. And so it's not always going to be, up to me as the player to put the team on my shoulders. There's going to be some times when that's necessary. But if we can take an approach that we need to be making the right play offensively and defensively, and if that doesn't mean it's my turn to score the ball, I've got confidence that my teammate right over there has that ability as well and is certainly capable of doing it. If we can take that approach, then I think we can be very difficult to deal with.
Very good. Well, folks, Brevard at Oglethorpe. That's tomorrow, 7 p.m. in Atlanta, Georgia. And then back at the Bosch on Friday versus Bob Jones. The Tornadoes returning home on Friday, 7 p.m. Hope to see you there. Coach, can you stick with us a few moments longer? We're going to bring in a couple of your student athletes. We mentioned these two earlier in the program. Charlie Hester has arrived, also Jadon Carnes. Coach, before we let you go, help introduce even further to NATO Nation these two outstanding student athletes.
Yeah, so go with Jadon first as a returner for us in his second year from Concord, North Carolina. Our leading scorer right now, statistically. Jadon shot the ball extremely well last year and has just continued that forward this year. His percentages are really, really good. And he is certainly a weapon for us around the basket and on the arc. He's usually guarded by the other team's biggest, tallest, defender, and so his ability to stretch the floor is important for us. Charlie is in his first year with us as a junior in college, but first year with us, transferred in from Covenant. Charlie's from Charlotte. Charlie is learning how to operate in our system and has taken huge strides over the last 2 or 3 weeks, just getting more and more comfortable with where he's supposed to be out there. He's got a lot of weapons at his disposal with how we play. He shoots the ball really, really well. He can be a physical presence around the basket, scoring the ball. And really with both of these guys, these are two guys that our team gets along pretty well, but these are two guys who really everybody likes. And I think that's because they play the game the right way. There's not a lot of selfish tendencies to them. They're making the right play. They're pulling for their teammates. They're holding themselves accountable. They're highly coachable. And I think everybody on the team respects that. And so, again, while our team gets along pretty well, everybody doesn't always like everybody in the construct of a team. But these two guys are very well respected and liked by all their teammates, which I think speaks volumes to their character.
Appreciate that, Coach. Best of luck on the road trip tomorrow at Oglethorpe in Atlanta. We'll see you at the Bosch on Friday. Thanks for joining the program, Coach.
Absolutely. Thanks, Phil.
All right, there he goes, head coach Lee Burgess. And as Coach helped introduce these two student athletes, Charlie Hester in that upper right corner. Charlie, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Outstanding. Welcome to Tornado Talk. Great to have you aboard this ride of ours. Jadon Carnes joining us as well. How are you, Jadon?
I'm good, Phil. Doing well.
Outstanding. Well, Charlie, let's start with you. Coach mentioned your transfer from Covenant. So now you're well underway. You've gone through preseason practice with the Tornadoes. You've got 5 regular season games under your belt. Also a couple of exhibitions against D1 foes. Tell us how's the experience been? Now as a member of the Tornadoes men's basketball program.
It's been good so far. Like you said earlier, I'm a junior transfer, so I've had 2 years of college experience, which has helped me so far. Just helping, I'll just say accelerate my learning the new offense and stuff. I get along with the team really well. Everybody's really inviting and everything. So it's been a good experience. Getting to learn a new offense can be a frustrating thing. It can make you feel like a freshman again, but just getting to learn it, getting better at it, just knowing that it's not going to be an overnight thing. It's just been good though. Getting 2 wins in a row last week is also a good.
Yeah, no doubt. You mentioned those 2 wins, Charlie. Let's stick with you. 78-65 over Swanee, followed by an 84-70 win over Warren Wilson. What was the difference in those 2 wins? What made the difference as far as the Tornadoes clicking and ultimately getting the victory?
I would say just as a team, realizing that we need to do more than scoring the ball and just doing the little things like diving on the floor, getting on loose balls, rebounding, boxing out, and just sharing the ball with everybody, just passing the ball around. So I would just say that just playing hard and just doing the little things well.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and it showed in the results, no doubt. Back-to-back wins for the Tornadoes. Also joined by Jadon Carnes, the sophomore forward from Concord, North Carolina. Jadon, now that you're in your sophomore season, how does it feel in terms of a difference between that freshman year 1 year ago?
Yeah, it feels great. I definitely feel more of knowing what I'm doing now. I'm definitely a lot more comfortable now than this time last year. So I was definitely excited to be able to come back to campus in August and be around the guys and kind of help show the ropes to the new guys as well. So I've just been put in a great position.
Yeah, and we're seeing some of those numbers so far. As Coach mentioned, you're leading the team in scoring. You've got it done from the land of 3 as well, and both you guys with some great performances in those 2 wins. Same question I had for Charlie, Jadon. What was the key as far as you guys clicking? You lost your first 3, but now back-to-back wins on the winning track now.
I think for us, what was a big deal is I think we really wanted to win. Our hunger and desire to get one on the board for us was just there. And so when we got that first one, it really lit a spark in us getting that second one against Warren Wilson. So, two great wins, and the way that the past 2 games that we've shared the ball and the way we've been unselfish with each other on the offensive end and the defensive end has been a huge contributor to how we've been able to produce the past couple games.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Charlie, back from Thanksgiving break, could you speak on behalf of the team? You guys ready to get right back after it after a few days off?
Oh, definitely. I know the guys are ready to get back on the court and stuff. Just having a break. I mean, it's good to go home and see family and stuff, but we're definitely ready to get back.
Yeah, Jadon, anything to add to that as far as sort of just the unique portion of the schedule where you play a game on Tuesday night? Most of the students are already out of here. We didn't have much of a student section that night. The vacation for Thanksgiving had already begun, but a few days off, able to recharge and so forth. But a big stretch coming up.
Yeah, it's always good to be able to go home and see family. But I think for me and the rest of the guys, this is the most fun time of year for us. Just being able to play these games and go travel to other places. So I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think we were all kind of eager just to get back into our normal routine and playing games and practicing together again. It was definitely exciting.
Makes a lot of sense. Well, would like our audience to learn a little bit about each of your journeys. Charlie, tell us a little bit about your basketball journey. When did you first start, dribbling or shooting a basketball, and kind of how did it progress from there to where you're now a, NCAA Division III student athlete playing men's basketball?
I can't say an exact like year, but I would say probably sometime in elementary school. I was playing football, and then once that stopped working out, I just picked up the basketball and then just went from there because I didn't want to be doing no sports, so I just tried out basketball, and then I don't know, I loved it. So just started playing, and then I really started practicing seriously in middle school. So around like probably 7th grade when I made varsity for middle school. And then, I went to a Langtree Charter, which is a small charter school in Mooresville. And then I transferred to United Faith in Charlotte. And that's where I really learned to work hard and take it seriously. So,
Jadon, same opportunity for you. Tell us a little bit about your journey. When did it all begin, and how did it manifest into what we see today?
Yeah, I've really been playing basketball my whole life. I guess you could say I picked up a ball right when I was in kindergarten and just started playing in rec leagues. With Charlie with football, I was always a big tennis guy. So my dad played tennis in college. So growing up, I was playing a little bit of tennis and a little bit of basketball, but I got to a point where basketball just seemed to be more fun and more enjoyable. So when I got to around the middle school age, around 7th grade, 8th grade, that's when I really started to play competitively and to not necessarily put the racket down, but pick up a basketball more than a tennis racket. And then just from there, I played at the same middle school and high school, all of my years of grade school and a great community. So ever since middle school, that's really when I've started to take my leaps and wanting to play basketball at the next level as a dream.
Yeah, and then Jadon, tell us how you found Brevard College ultimately.
Yeah, looked around a lot of places. Got recruited by a lot of different schools. When Brevard reached out, I loved the fact that it was kind of in the same home state. So came up here and took a visit my senior year of high school, and just frankly, just loved the campus, loved the town and the community of Brevard and how small it was. That was very similar to me where I'm from, and so I love the basketball aspect, love the coaches, and I just felt like it was a win-win for me, and that has proven to be right so far. So no complaints from me.
Very good. Both of you all from kind of the greater Charlotte area, and there's a big Charlotte presence on this roster. You know, I look up and down it, and you guys are everywhere. Charlie, tell us a little bit about that connection with the, guys who are from Charlotte, now members of this Tornadoes team. Do you guys kind of stick together, talk shop as far as the old days growing up and that kind of thing as well?
Yeah, well, I knew Jadon because we played on the same AAU team, but he was just 1 year below me. So, and then we would scrimmage against each other sometimes in practices. So I already knew Jadon a little bit. And then back in like 9th grade summer, me and Carson also play on the same AAU team.
Carson Evans. Yep.
Yeah, Carson Evans. So I also knew him from AAU. We played a whole summer together. So I already knew a couple of the guys and stuff from back then. So.
Yeah, Jadon, it's kind of a unique opportunity for you guys. So many of you knew each other, or perhaps knew you through the grapevine and that kind of thing, and now you're all together here in Brevard.
Yeah, it's funny because like Charlie said, we played for the same AAU program, and I vividly remember, he had a lot longer hair back then, but I vividly remember him being at the practices and just kind of being around. So whenever I got word that he was going to come be a part of the program here at Brevard, I was definitely excited about it.
Yeah, great stuff. Well, let's take it to the classroom, fellas. Charlie, what are you working on academically? What are you majoring in?
A business major right now.
And have you thought, what you want to do with that degree ultimately?
I'm honestly not too sure yet, but if I can stick with sports, basketball, that would be good, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, certainly. I'm not trying to pressure you or anything. This is the time to figure all that out. Jadon, tell us what you're up to academically.
Yeah, I'm a physical education and recreation major.
Very good. And likewise, have you looked ahead as far as some of the careers that could lead to?
Yeah, absolutely. I love to coach. I'm a coach back home for a summer job, and I help run summer camps. And so I kind of found that to be a passion. And that's a huge reason to why I chose the major that I have. And that's also a huge reason to why I'm playing at the next level, just for some experience. So I hope to get into some kind of coaching and mentoring career, whatever that may look like. I'm not too specific on what that will be, but I know I definitely don't want to leave the basketball world and leave that kind of coaching aspect behind.
Outstanding. Well, looking forward to seeing you two and the rest of the Tornadoes in action. The Tornadoes will head to Atlanta tomorrow, Tuesday, 7 p.m. versus Oglethorpe. And then back at the Bosch, hope to see you there 7 p.m. Friday when the Tornadoes host Bob Jones. Before we let you two go, do want to give you an opportunity. By the way, Charlie, this is like a tradition on Tornado Talk. You get the chance for shout outs or thank yous. The floor is yours, Charlie. Shout outs.
Shout out Zane for putting me under his wing, I guess.
Very good. A very concise shout out, Charlie. Yeah, there's some. So it sounds like some wisdom and some real history there. Perhaps as far as Zane taking you under the wing. Appreciate that. Jadon, same opportunity for you. Shout outs or thank yous.
Yeah, I just want to shout out my family, my coaches, my teammates, my church family, my pastors, my youth pastor, everybody that just helped me along the way to get to where I am now. Just want to give a shout out to them.
Very good. Charlie, Hester, and Jadon Carnes, 2 stars of the Brevard College men's basketball team, coming off back-to-back wins, looking to keep the winning going with a trip to Oglethorpe tomorrow in Atlanta, back at the Bosch on Friday versus Bob Jones. Charlie, Jadon, great job this evening. Thanks for joining the show.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
All right, there they go. And that wraps up another edition of Tornado Talk. Be sure to follow the Tornadoes on social media at BC Tornadoes, also on Facebook for Brevard College Tornado Athletics, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. We'll have basketball action all week long, a couple women's games, and also the men's team in action on Friday. And a big thank you to all that helped us on tonight's program. Our guests from basketball, both men's and women's basketball, along with cycling, Emily Denega and Cassidy Hutto, along with our producer, Joseph Mars.